Alright y'all, the moment has finally arrived. The cherry blossoms have just started blooming and we are going to try this year to get a Sakura honey harvest.
We have been planning all winter in preparation of this day to try and get our first batch of Sakura cherry blossom honey this year. Well, this is a wonderful sight to see. We got out here and as you can see, these 3 colonies are doing orientation flights. That is a sure sign that their numbers are booming. You can tell when orientation flights are happening, which is the first time that a honeybee leaves the colony. It needs to orient itself to where its home location is. So it turns around, faces the colony. You see all those little bee faces are pointing back towards the hive box. And then they fly around in figure 8s, somehow helping them remember where their home base location actually is. So it's a good sign to see orientation flights like this the day before the cherries are starting to bloom, because that means all of these new bees are leaving the hive for the first time and they will now be out foraging. Just as a reminder, all of these hive boxes that have a little window on the front, those are the boxes that we purchased and built the year before last. Those are the boxes that have our bees that have overwintered. So all of these boxes without windows are the ones that Evan built himself. They are still empty. We're still waiting a few more days for our new honeybees to arrive to fill those boxes. They'll be moving here from our honeybee sensei's apiary here on the island. So what we're going to do today for the 6 colonies that we hope to harvest cherry blossom honey from, we're going to open them up, do a very quick check, remove the sugar water, and give them new empty frames for them to fill only with pure cherry blossom honey. This feeder frame with sugar water is what helps get them through the winter, and those little pollen patties on top are what helped them start laying eggs in the spring and increasing their numbers to a nice, robust size. But we are still early in the year. Numbers have not increased a lot. That's part of what makes cherry blossom honey so tricky, is just the timing and how early in the spring the cherry trees bloom. The sugar water, you can tell, is a very dark amber color, and this is a super light yellow. This is definitely cherry blossom honey right here being made. Alright, that's it, day 1. We're going to pack up here, spend the afternoon doing some garden prep, some yard work. We're going to be checking on these bees every 2 days while the cherries are blooming. We are on a side quest this morning, not exactly related to our quest for cherry blossom honey this year. We are meeting our honeybee sensei here in the parking lot. He'll be taking us up to his other bee yard to pick up 10 of our new honeybee colonies. We received 8 the other day. It really is a beautiful time of year here. You don't really realize how many cherry trees there are. There's many beautiful lines of cherry blossoms along the roads here, but you can see they're also naturalized up in the hills behind us, all those little puffs of pink and white. We actually only received 6 out of our 10 new arrivals for this bee yard today. We're going to keep them in his boxes for the next few days, because our weather has gotten a little bit chilly again, unexpectedly. Alright, Evie, let's pop them open.
Still sleepy. Nope.
Still chilly, huh? Well, this shows why we won't be moving them. You don't want to open their boxes when it's too cold for them to fly. Their hive boxes work as insulators, so they are smart, they know what they need, and they are staying put until the sun comes out again. Alright, this yard is ready for a cherry blossom honey progress check. And the newbies who have just arrived are still settling in here as well. Not a lot of flying happening today. It's a little too chilly for them, so they will remain in their boxes for a few more days. Today we are giving the newbies sugar and pollen patties. The bees that we plan to harvest the cherry blossom honey from, they do not get sugar, but they get pollen patties. This is our only overwinter colony that is super small and we're a bit worried about, so we're just babying them. This is the biggest of our overwinter colonies. They are doing fantastic. Another random side quest for the day is that Tsuruoka-san dropped off these shiitake infused logs at the front door of our house, so we are going to pop these in the shade and see if they make some delicious mushrooms. Mushroom logs going into position. Here's a close-up of one of the cherry blossom trees that is not blooming out yet. You can see how many buds are there waiting to open. The flowers were on their way to blooming, and then when the temperature dropped again, they've just sort of frozen, waiting in place again. Which I guess that is kind of cool because it might be extending our cherry bloom a little bit. We just got a special delivery. This is our honeybee, or rather our honey extractor. This is a spin extractor like our honeybee sensei has been letting us borrow his. Now we have our own. Very exciting. We are about to do our cherry blossom progress check to see how they're filling out those frames, see if they're capping any of them off yet. All of these colonies have lots of little ladies doing their orientation flights. The numbers really are exploding. This is our biggest colony here, but this frame is all capped brood baby bees. We've completed inspections, progress reports for 2 of our colonies, and both of them have about 1 full side of 1 frame full of honey. It's not going to be a big harvest, but it's going to be a delicious harvest. Final colony going into place on their pedestal here. This is the first time we have ever had 25 bee colonies. It's a little bit warmer today, so they are coming right out to say hello when we open the doors. Taking a quick stop to drop off the boxes at our honeybee mentor's yard here. The beautiful view of the sea and the neighboring island. How about this for a fixer-upper? A quick update here in the truck because it's too windy to film outside. Bee yard number 1 is complete. We have 10 colonies transferred into their new hive boxes. It went almost perfectly. We only got one sting, and that happened at the very end after everybody was in their new homes and we thought settled down. But now we're moving on to bee yard number 2. Here we have 8 colonies to transfer to their new homes, plus a cherry blossom honey progress check.
Cherry blossom.
At this point in the season, the cherry blossoms are in full bloom. We've got a few other flowers opening up now too. Alright everybody, today is the big day. We have absolutely less than ideal conditions, and we're getting started a few hours late because we're still waiting for the rain to stop. But today is the only day we can do this, and we are going to do this. Evan is making some last-minute sewing to our suits here because we don't usually do a full suit up, but today we are going to do a full suit up for various reasons. We have been waiting very patiently for the honeybees to cap their cherry blossom honey cells. So we've had to push this day back a few times as we monitor the hives and check on the capping progress. Today's the last possible day that we can do it and still have honey for sale at the Golden Week Sando Market Festival, which will be our first festival. And we're very excited and also nervous to see how this harvest goes today. Alright, well the rain is not letting up, and we have a guest house guest arriving in potentially 2.5 hours. They haven't told us exactly when they're going to get here yet, which means that our day needs to be flexible, yet we are also doing honey harvest today. So we have decided to change plans, and we are going to, like last year's harvest, bring the frames back here so we have a dry place to process them here. Well, it was a little touch and go there for a minute with the rain coming down, but here we are. We've returned to the honeybee workshop with 12 potential frames to harvest. We've got everything here ready to go, and again, what we think our process is going to be is to check each frame individually. First with the refractometer to make sure that it's at the correct level of viscosity to harvest for honey, and then also for taste to make sure that it's the cherry blossom flavor.
This frame has the distinct flavor of cherry blossom.
This spinner that we have spins 2 frames at a time. Well, fast forward in time just a little bit because we weren't able to film and speak while we were spinning those 12 frames from honeybee yard number 2 because our neighbors started weed whacking, and of course that interferes with our sound quality. But that's okay because it's been a little bit of a stressful morning, so not filming while we're doing all of this and sort of figuring things out on the fly, getting used to this new process, that was okay. So now we are filming and we'll get you caught up to speed. One thing we've discovered is that cherry blossom honey is incredibly thick. It's definitely the thickest honey that we've ever seen. It's got a lovely, delicate, flower-like flavor, and it's very light in color, but boy, it is incredibly thick honey. Evan estimates that we'll have between 8 to 12 more harvestable frames from this bee yard, but I just want to be clear that when we say harvestable frames, it's not your regular, fully capped, full beautiful, harvestable frame like you would usually do. Because it's early in the season, this is just another level of complication, is that we're harvesting honey from frames where it's only on a portion of each frame.
Here is a beautiful frame of pure cherry blossom honey. Now, I spoke to my bee mentor yesterday, and it turns out we should have harvested this honey before they capped it. I tested this on the refractometer, and it's 85% sugar. It only needs to be 80%.
All right, Evan's going to do a quick viscosity check using the refractometer.
It's over 9,000! But really, it's 87%.
Yeah, it's really hard to film through this, and I just can't get the angle right. It's way up at the top there, so hard to film the refractometer with the camera, but you get the idea. As we've been preparing for this harvest for so long, we've gone back and forth in our discussions about whether or not this was actually going to be a reasonable sized harvest, anything comparable to what we harvested last year. But it is looking like it's going to be a small batch like we initially thought. Super thick honey. First pass on the filtering here. Sort of mesmerizing to watch it come through the filter. That's pretty cool.
ASMR.
All right, we let that filter sit overnight. We have a small army of jars cleaned. And next step, Evan's going to give us a honey report.
Grand total is 12 kilograms or 26 pounds, which is filling up this container here and a little extra in the bowl. For comparison, that is almost as much honey as we got from our citrus honey harvest last year, but that was only 2 hives, and this harvest came from 22 hives.
We've shown you this process before in our last honey jarring video, so I think we're just going to skip forward and we'll show you the finished jars. It's been a very long day, but we got that whole batch of honey into jars, and I've got my cute little labels on the jars. Welcome to my makeshift photo studio over here at Benton Guest House. I'm going to take pictures of them for our website and social media, but I don't think these jars are going to last long enough for me to even get them listed in the website shop. I just used our existing labels and added these cute little pink cherry blossom stickers to them, so there's no doubt that these are cherry blossom honey jars. I also had some fun making these cute little signs for the market. I don't know if we're going to have time to make a video of our market prep and experience, but I'm going to try to, so I'll at least share a little bit of video and photos from our booth so you can see it all set up. If you're in Japan, you know that it's Golden Week coming up, and Golden Week is our second busiest tourism time on the island here. We've chosen the Golden Week Sando Market to be our first vendor booth. Evan is making Mexican empanadas and horchata. We will also have honey, retro items, and seedlings, so a little bit of everything that we do at the market. If you happen to be in the Shimanami Kaido area, we would love to see you at the Sando Market this coming weekend. If not, thanks for watching this video, thanks for watching all of our videos, and we'll see you in the next one. I'll just film with that going.
Okay, go.
Are you filming? Nani?